What is going on, Tradingview fam? Hey, I am just here bringing you guys a new trade idea. I actually posted about this trading idea here recently on Bitcoin. And right now, I am currently in a long position. Let me just explain to you guys real quick because this right here, the structure of this is so clean. It's so nice. It's so explainable. This is a textbook trade. Um, here's what you should always be on the lookout for. Okay, whenever you see a clear trend forming, and this is a clear trend. What defines the bearish move for me, an obvious bearish move for me, is this strong. These strong moves down. They're very obvious. Okay, and had we not gotten this strong push back up, I would have probably said, okay, um, we're going to continue our downward move. This is going to be kind of a slight correction. We're going to continue our downward move. But I believe what's happening here is there is a correction happening on this impulsive move up. So this trading range right here, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by when I'm saying that we're in a trading range here. This right here was our trading range, and you can see that. And I'm going to be using Wyckoff terminology. If you guys need to look it up, I would highly encourage you guys to look up Wyckoff price structure, because this is like probably textbook Wyckoff structure right here. I couldn't describe a better structure if I wanted to. Now, the problem with Wyckoff is that, and it's really not a problem. It's just being able to read price structure within the Wyckoff structure. So, like I said, guys, this is a trading range right here that's happening right now. Okay, and what's happening to the structure is, so this is what would be labeled as preliminary supply right here. This would end up being the buying climax. All right. So we have a buying climax. We go down to our low of the trading range. This kind of becomes the floor. This is the ceiling of our trading range right here. Okay. So as you can see, price does a sharp turn right down below the trading range, traps a lot of people in the process. There's a lot of people liquidated on this move. And what it actually does is, I don't know if you can see it right here, but it creates this small little space right in between the low of the supply zone right here. All right, this is kind of, well, it's the low of the supply zone, but it's the liquidity region of the low of the supply zone. But this little unfilled order block gets created by this move. And it's not much. I'm talking about, like, I mean, this is just a tad hair below 16,800. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Okay. This little zone. And it'll become important here in just a little bit when I explain to you guys exactly what is transforming here. Okay. So in every one of these moves, I want you guys to see how price kind of gets transformed here, with all of these moves up. Okay. So if you guys can see, and this is kind of a similar move that's happening with Bitcoin right now. Okay. So I want you guys to see in this little area right here. Hold on, let me get the right tool here. I want you guys to see exactly what's happening in this area right here and line it up with this area right here. Okay. So the first thing that is happening here is, and this is, the structure of this is a little bit different. So you guys have to understand that we're going to be adjusting a little bit for the structure, because this is a slightly this is in a different variable structure than this is. There are no real um, like I guess per se bullish or bearish order blocks right here. You can actually see a slight. Not actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I take that back. I do actually see a very bearish order block that happens to be right here. Okay, so this is actually a bearish order block to me. The more I look at it. Okay, so what happens with price is it will, it will shoot up. It'll go back down to the last bullish order block structure that it has within the up thrust, this up move right here. And it will go all the way up to the last bearish order block that was formed on the move down. Okay. So this is actually doing roughly the same thing right here. So where we have this move up, everybody's thinking, okay, we're going to go back down. And we do. We do retrace just a little bit. There is the possibility that this low right here gets taken out. So I don't want you to concentrate on that. There's, like I said, the possibility that this does get taken out. But I believe that even if this does get taken out, we're going to have a move that should be somewhere right in this region right here. Okay. So what I predict is going to happen next is a strong move back up. I'd probably say it's probably going to happen tomorrow. Is my guess is that we're going to retrace part of. I think this is probably going to end up happening in Asian session. We're going to be up here probably by tomorrow morning, and we're going to see this retracement right back down into this bullish order block. Like I said, don't let this move right here that's developing right here just stop you out, because it may very well take out this low, kind of go right below it and shoot right back up, which is fine. Okay. I'd probably extend this just maybe a little bit further. I'll probably extend this just like right below this candle high, and I'm on the 10-minute time frame, which um, be subjective with what time frame that you're trading on, because these wicks are going to be in different times. But I would probably even, just for the hell of it, I'd probably even take it down over here, because you can start seeing a lot of different structure back up here. But either way, your stop loss right here it's very tight. Okay. This move back down again is probably going to take out a bunch of different positions right here, only for price to just shoot right back up into this liquidity zone. The reason that I'm saying that this is our liquidity zone right here is for two things. And the reason that it's a liquidity zone for this bullish move back up is because this is the very last bullish structural move that made a higher high before we have this kind of break of structure move down that happened. Okay. So it's very obvious to me that, look, if you're going to grab liquidity from any region, it's going to be this last bullish position right here, where people are probably going to be set up to think that, oh man, this is an extremely bullish move, which, I mean, it partially is. I'm not saying that it's not a bullish move. I'm just saying that a lot of people are going to end up getting caught up in it. So I do believe that once we have this high formed, we're going to go back and retrace back into the bullish order zone that's being created right here, only to go back into the last bearish order block. So the last bearish order block right here is going to be right in between a strong move that happened down, and what it's gonna do is it's trying to capture the very first time that we saw our price become obviously bearish. Okay. And if you take a look at this chart, it's not very obvious. It's not very obvious that it's bearish here. But the thing is that price still retraces back into it, and there is no real structure that is being broken right here. Over here, though, all of a sudden, you've got this consolidation zone, and you have this candle take this zone right back out. Okay, and that is the first time that there is a recognition of the fact that this is a bearish move down. All right, and I don't know if you guys recognize this, and I want you to see it. Just like with this sharp move back up, this bullish move up, guess what happened? The price moved right back down into an order block, the bullish order block that was formed when we broke out of this structure. So the same exact thing is happening here. Okay, they might come down here to try to narrow this gap down a little bit more, but ultimately what's going to end up happening is price is still going to shoot right back up out of it, just like it did right back here when we had when the price reverted back here once we broke this zone. So we still have a very small little bearish order block zone right here that I believe we are trying to reach, because it's the very last bearish order block before we have a broader move down to take this bullish order block out. And so no further order blocks are going to be left between the extreme highs of the trading range and the extreme lows of the trading range. Once that happens, guess what happens to price? Bam. It's going to try to break completely out of this structure, and I believe it will. I believe that after this move from 16, right below 16,800, we are going to see a very rapid, successful move to the upside that's going to clear this high out at 17, right about 17,400 or so, okay? Give or take whatever exchange that you're on, all right? So this is the overall structure that I believe that we're going to see. Bullish move. The move traps a lot of people that were going short right here. It's going to liquidate a lot of positions. It'll come back up. It'll finish the bullish move. I believe that this structure right here, though, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of consolidation. There's going to be a lot of play in this zone, but this is going to be a sharp move up. This is going to be another sharp move down. So there's going to be some consolidation in this area, sharp move down, and then there's probably going to be a slightly sharp move back up into this region, followed by some levels of consolidations. There's going to be some chop in this region right here before we see a more further move down over here. So what I believe that the structure that we're kind of going to be looking at is going to be it's going to be a channel, and we're going to be looking at something like this, where this is going to end up, there we go, where the move from here is going to break structure, okay? Price is going to move back down. It's going to go to the extreme lows without breaking structure here, only to push back up out of it and back down, okay? So I hope that gave you guys a pretty good explanation of what you're seeing with price action. And hopefully this trade will pan out, because I am in a sizable long position here, and I do not want to end up being liquidated out. I'm actually in a 50x position right now going along. So I've got a pretty tight stop loss set. I'm going to redo my stop loss so that I don't get stopped out too quick. This is kind of going to be my chop zone right here that I'm willing to just kind of live through right here. So even if price retraces into this region, I'm fine with that. Even if it takes this low down over here, I'm good with that. If we start going into this price action here, I'm going to take a much further look at it. But I don't want to risk too much, even though this will end up still being a pretty good play, okay? So hopefully this will get you guys some good profits. Take care.